All right, we might as well go ahead and get started. It is 11:32 right now, so thank you for joining us today on this webinar. And again, as it says, this is a welcome and getting to know the M11-8M. I'm going to say it just that one time. My name is Chuck Tuck, and I am a product trainer with AVer. So we'll go ahead and get started here. M11 is a compact, versatile, ready-to-go document camera. Now, a lot of you are probably looking at this picture going, wait a second, that does not look like an AVer document camera. It is an AVer document camera, and you're absolutely right. It does not look like anything that we've put out before. So this document camera is very sleek, and it is affordable. And it's really designed to meet the needs of the changing learning environment, and that means this distance learning or portable on the go. So with this particular document camera, it has an HDMI output and it is plug and play USB powered. So what that really means is there are no additional cables that you're going to need to use as far as the power goes. You just need to make sure that you plug in the mini USB from the document camera to your desktop or your laptop computer. Now, again, like I said, it's very compact and it's versatile and ready to go. And as I mentioned, it's ready to go because it can be portable. There may be a time where the teachers, you folks may need to take this from the school to home. And as you can see in the picture right here that you're seeing, it is collapsible. So as it indicates, it is about 12 inches in height and about 5 inches at the base in diameter. So it's very small. It does not take up much real estate at all on the desk at home or in the school, in the classroom, wherever you're going to be. So again, with that USB powered, it truly becomes a portable document camera. But you might be asking yourself, well, if it's so small, is it light? Is it sturdy? Yes, it's very, very sturdy. It's stable. It's light. It's under 2 pounds. It's like 1.8, 1.83 pounds. So it's substantial enough, but light enough to really carry around and be portable. As you can also see that it is a mechanical arm, and the picture that you see at the bottom right corner talks about a 180-degree rotation head. So that makes it easy in case that the way your desk is positioned, if you can't lay down a sheet of paper a proper way or facing you, you just have to rotate the head mechanically. Now, it does have a button on there where you can actually rotate it digitally as well. Distance learning ready. Kind of already talked about that really quick. So this means that the M11 is UVC UAC compliant. It's a plug and play USB connectivity. So basically what that means is it's plug and play. You plug it in. There's really no need for any drivers. It will be recognized as a webcam. Now, the cool thing about this particular M11 document camera, you can go into the menu and you do have an option to select it as power only or as a webcam or as a mass storage or mass drive. It does not have any memory built into it, but the great part about it is, as it says, it's portable, USB connectivity, and then you see that line, it says you can use the M11-8M like a webcam or standalone recorder. So that's one of the great things about this particular document camera is it does have the ability to use the document camera as a standalone without using any of our software or without using any of these distance learning platforms or anything like that. So it's a matter of just plugging in a USB thumb drive or even an SD card. Once you do that and you go into the menu system, you can let it know that you want to save whatever you're going to do directly to the document camera. And it does have a built-in microphone, so it will record everything. So there are probably a lot of instances where you may want to use a document camera, but not use it with the software. You want to use it as quick and easy as you can. So this document camera would do exactly that. Like I said, you just need to plug in the USB thumb drive. Just let the document camera know that you're going to be recording it to a thumb drive, and that'll be by going into a menu. Once you do that and you hit the record button, that's it. You're recording. So once you're done recording, now you have it on the thumb drive. You can actually take that anywhere with you that you want, or you can import it into your computer and do any type of editing. Or once you put it onto your computer, you can immediately upload it to your teacher YouTube or website that you may be hosting or have yourself. If you folks have any questions, please use that chat room and go ahead and shoot out some questions, and Aiden will be able to help you with that. And then I will try to get over there and take a look at some of the questions that might be coming through as well. So with this document camera, how do we connect it? Again, as I said, it is USB powered. It is a USB 3, but it will be or can be powered by USB 2 as well. It is an 8 megapixel image sensor, which is plenty good for distant learning, and you still get very good image quality on this. The great part about this is even connecting through the USB, you're going to get a 1080p full HD at 60 frames per second. So that just means that you're going to have very minimal lag. So hopefully I'll be able to show you a little bit about that, because once I'm done with the slideshow here, I'm going to show you the actual document camera, what it looks like. I'm going to try to do that. So again, it says it's a USB HDMI connectivity. So what you want to do is, if you want to get into the menu system, you will need to connect the HDMI to a monitor. That way you're able to see exactly what you're doing or changing within the menu itself. So just remember that to get in and change any of the features or functions, you'll want to have the HDMI cable connected. It does have a 20 times digital zoom. The digital zoom on this is really good. But because of the height and the size of the document camera, it's not really necessary to have any more of a powerful a zoom on it. And again, digital zoom, not optical, but it is a very good digital zoom. And I'll try to show some of that as well. Now, it does have the built-in microphone. So it's just built right into the document camera itself. So there's no need for any additional microphones to be connected to your computer or your desktop. You can use the document camera microphone to do the recording, which means if you're using this as a webcam, you've got a little microphone in there. It does have a 3-year warranty, so we have a very good warranty on this, but you shouldn't need to use the warranty, we hope. So as it shows here, it's the mini USB cable that's going to be just connected from the document camera itself over to the desktop or laptop. And again, the HDMI connection will go to a monitor. Now you can use our Sphere 2 software, which I believe that most of you are familiar with, or at least have seen it or tried it out a little bit. We do have our AVer Touch software as well. It will work with the AVer Touch as well. So as it says, create and learn from home solution. And this document camera really is exactly that. It's one of these document cameras that's, again, I keep using the word portable, compact, lightweight. There's really no better way to use a document camera than to create your own content. A lot of us have been asking, well, where can I get content? This document camera will help you create the content. It's a matter of using your own imagination. Or if you already have a lot of content on paper, why not use the document camera itself to capture the images and digitize all those documents, all those papers that you have. And you can use this again to create videos. So we at AVer know that it's a difficult time right now. So we're here to try to help you with anything and everything that you need during this difficult time. And what I mean by the difficult time is a lot of us have been on a stay-at-home or work-at-home order, which means that we're not able to go out into the schools, into the classrooms. We're not able to meet the kids. We're here to answer any questions that you may have on how am I going to use my document camera, or how do I use my Pro AV camera that AVer sells as well. What are some of the solutions, or what are some of the resources that we might have that you may be interested in? We have all of that available. And as it says right here, you could go to our everusa.com/education/sled, and you can find some of our helpful tips and resources and stuff like that for you folks. Now, don't worry, you don't have to write all this down. We will be making this available to all of you. And as I mentioned, this presentation will be uploaded, be recorded and uploaded probably within a week or so. But we will go ahead and send out the PDF to you folks as well. So again, what will you find as far as resources from us? Well, you're going to find some instructional videos. not just on the M11, but on many of our other document cameras and even on our carts and other products that we have. There'll be some helpful guides, some PDF guides that you could download. And then you're going to see some videos as well for overviews on some of the products. And you see down here too, we do have the instruction manual for the M11 available for you as well. Currently, no, I am not using the M11 right now. I'm just using my webcam from my laptop. So I will actually use the M11 in just a moment here, so you can actually see what it looks like as far as the image quality, and as I mentioned, the very minimal, the lag of delay, because I think sometimes we've been used to seeing some document cameras where there may have been a delay, especially when it's going through USB. So here's some of the other links that we have. If you're not currently following us on any of the social media sites, please, we ask you that you follow us. We have information going up almost on a daily basis, and we would love to hear from you folks. So you can see that we do have 4 different ones up here. There I am. And let's see if I can't get the actual document camera here. So I will go over to the M11. So the image that you see right there is the actual document camera image. So here's my hand. You see that I am wiggling my fingers pretty fast, and there really isn't a delay. If there is, it's very minimal. So as I mentioned, the rotating mechanical head, it's that. I could bring this all the way down. All right, so I will go ahead and point this at me. Remember, because you can use this as a document camera as well. So here I am, folks. How are you? Hopefully I'm right side up. And hit my autofocus button. Hi. So this is the M11. M11-8M is the official name, and I'm using it currently as a document camera, so, or as a webcam. Let me see if I have any chat stuff going on, if there's any questions coming up. Prices vary. Yep, that's true. So again, on the document camera itself, I have a button where I could rotate things around 180. That's in addition to this mechanical. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you what the menu system looks like because I need to have it connected to an HDMI out, and then I need to have everything else connected there. I was trying that this morning. It works out fine, but Zoom was crashing on me every time I tried it. However, at the very end, I will go ahead and try that. And if you get kicked off, it just means that we're at the end of the presentation. So I will apologize in advance. We do have an LED light that's on here as well. So maybe you notice a little bit of difference here. Yeah, slight difference there. So it's not a large LED, but there is an LED light. It's a very basic menu system on the document camera itself. So you do have your LED light, you have your zoom in, zoom out, you rotate, autofocus, and a power button. Let me go back here. So that is probably sideways, right? So what can I do? I can rotate the head. There we go. Again, hopefully that you're seeing that there should not be a delay even coming across on your end. So let's see. There is a question. Let me go ahead and change this again. I'll come back to my webcam on the laptop. Prices vary. People, salespeople, electric library. Okay. Let's see. Can you elaborate on the possible USB delay? How would this work with distance learning? Let me ask you this first. Are you folks seeing any great delay, or did you see any delay on that image when I was wiggling my fingers and such? Because part of the delay will really be on your connectivity, your network, the speed that you're able to connect with. Okay, so I've got a no delay, very minimal delay stuff. Okay, I do have a feeling with this price point and this particular document camera, it will be a very hot item. Again, there is no delay seen. Yeah, so the delay, the question, I'm going to just go back to that. Really, the delay is going to be on your end, meaning that if you have a poor connection, poor speed internet, you'll have the delay. However, there are ways to kind of work around that. I'm using the full 1080p HD. You can actually go in there and you can readjust that down to a 720p, which actually take up less bandwidth, which is going to help with any possible delay that you're going to have or may experience. And 720p is still very, very good, especially on the distance learning. I will be creating videos that will be posted on our website that's going to go through and show you how to make adjustments within the menu itself. And I will also go in there and show you how to change it from the HD, the 1080, full 1080p, down to the 720p, which can help some of you as well if you have poor connections, whether it be at school or at home. Thank you, everybody, for all the questions that are coming in. Did you want me to go back and do something else with the actual document camera image underneath the document camera? All right, so I have not tried this, folks, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what I can do as far as putting the microphone over to the document camera. Yes, it does work okay with Zoom. That's currently what we're using, and it's working perfectly fine. So I'll go ahead and switch over to the microphone over on the document camera, and we'll see how that sounds, okay? And you folks let me know. Here we go. And I may sound like I'm at a distance, so let's see what happens here. All right, can you hear my voice right now? If you can, this is using the microphone that's built into the document camera itself. It's pretty clear? Good, good, good. All right, so do I dare show my face and my voice talking at the same time with the microphone so we can see if there's any type of delay for you folks? All right, here we go. Okay, so I am about 4 feet away. Can you hear me okay right now as I'm talking? There is a bit of a delay. Yes, I can actually even see that right now. I will say fear not, because if you're working on the document camera itself, such as doing this and writing, the students won't notice that there is a delay. So probably on my end, I would need to drop it down to the 720p if I want to fix any of that delay, if I'm going to use this as a webcam itself. And now let me show you if this is possible here. Nope, I cannot angle it quite as much as I wanted to. What I want to do is actually show you the actual microphone. It's a very, very small pinhole. But you see that we have the power, the autofocus, this is the rotate, we have the zoom out, zoom in. Right above that is I have my light. Now that's the LED light off, and that's the LED light on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to the camera that's on the laptop and the audio as well. Yes, it is pretty great, Michelle. And as I mentioned, it's very, very compact. It's 1.83 pounds, so it's very small, and it does take up just a small space of real estate on your desk. Now, I'm going to try something here, and I can't guarantee that this is going to work. So if it does freeze and we get kicked off, I just want to say thanks for joining me. So what I'm going to try right now is I'm going to switch over to a third camera. It's one of our Pro AV. It's called the PTZ330 camera. So Zoom has been kind of finicky with that camera right now since I've got 3 different things hooked up at the same time. But I'm going to try to activate that, and then it's going to go over to the desktop so you can see the actual document camera itself. Let's see. do the drawing first in case you get kicked out. Okay, so yes, I'll go back over to the document camera. I'll turn that on and I will do some writing underneath the document camera so you folks can see how that'll work. However, I'll go ahead and keep the audio over on this microphone right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch over again, and let me go ahead and hit the autofocus button. Get a drawing pad here. Okay, so the lines are going the wrong way. So what am I going to do? Rotate my head here and just write thank you. One and all. Sorry for my poor penmanship. Uh, was that coming across pretty good as far as the writing part goes? Good, good. Because especially if you're going to do a live session with the students, like some of you are asking about the lag, you don't really want to have, well, you try to want to have minimal lag as possible. And it does seem like on my end too, I'm projecting this to another monitor, that it does have a clear image and there is very, very minimal lag on that. Okay, let's see what else that we have for questions here. So you folks like the document camera so far? Yes, as Michelle was saying, for little ones, you will want to adjust your writing just so the little kids can get used to it and to see it. All right, are you folks ready for me to try to actually use this other camera and point it at the actual document camera itself so you can see it live? Oh, what are the disadvantages with this model compared to the larger document camera models? Okay, so in distant learning situation, I would say that there's no disadvantage at all. Now, if you're saying, well, this is just going to be something that I want to use in my science or biology class, and I have to have the uh, absolute best zoom, that tells me that you'll want to have an optical zoom and not just digital zoom, which I did not actually show you the digital zoom here. So if you're doing, again, biology, science, maybe if you're getting into schematics or something like that, you may want to have an optical zoom. But anything other than that, no. I honestly, I do not see this any disadvantages of having this document camera or this type of document camera that we have. Yes, we want to do the zoom in and zoom out. So I'll go ahead and go back over to the camera over here. Thank you, folks, for asking so many questions and allowing me to go back and forth. So let's go ahead and get a color image here. All right. So right now, the height of the document camera, the arm, I have it at about 12 inches. And I'm just going to zoom in. Now you notice if I get way, way too far, well, you can't see anything because I'm so far in, that it may show some pixels dancing around. But you can see that this is zoomed in quite far, because here again is where we started, all the way out here. Let me put my hand down here. I don't want to embarrass myself, but here we go. Let me hit the autofocus, make sure that focus on my hand, and I'll zoom in. I don't want to go too far. I probably should use a dollar bill or something like that, which would probably be a better example for you folks. Yes, wow is absolutely right. It does do a really good job here for the zooming in and zooming out. Let's see. All right, there we are. And again, that's zoomed way in. And this is actually where we started. You can see that the image is very, very clear. And remember, you can use this document camera as a standalone camera to capture images. That's why I mentioned early on that you can create your own content. Take what you have. If you have spare time, and if you have a document camera like this or any document camera, begin capturing images and just digitizing everything that you have. You only mentioned laptop or desktop. Does it work with on the Chromebook. So it'll work with Android devices, but you have to have an Android 5 or above. So not on the Chromebook. So any Android device, but it has to be Android 5.0 or above. And for the Mac operating system, it has to be was it iOS 11? Now, if somebody's still using, as an example, Windows 7, it'll work with Windows 7. It can work as a document camera or webcam. Just because earlier we mentioned the UVC, UVA, it's compliant. It'll recognize it, and it'll recognize it as a camera. Oh, as far as continuous autofocus, so no, I'll have to. So if you're meaning that, will it focus in on if it's focused here on the table, and if I turn it to me, will it automatically focus? You can see that it's in focus relatively well here. Sorry to have you on the side. I have not hit the autofocus yet, so it does have a pretty good depth of field as far as focusing. But yeah, you'll want to go ahead and hit the autofocus again just to get a really good clear focus. So also with the height of the document camera, and like I said, the depth focus, you probably won't have to worry too much as far as is it going to remain in focus or not while you're writing or doing some of your work. Now, anything that you're telling us, we can actually bring to our product management and product development team too. If you have any suggestions, that helps us. There's always possibilities of firmware updates and things like that. So anything that you folks can think of, please let us know. And again, that's one of the reasons why we'd like for you to follow us on the social media sites. We want to hear from you. No, don't say that, Michelle. All right, so I've kept you guys on for a long time. Let me try to go over to the PTZ camera, and we'll see what happens here. So again, if we're basically at the end of the presentation, but please keep the questions coming in. I'll go ahead and switch over to the PTZ camera right now, and we'll see if this is going to work. So fingers crossed that it will not freeze. So far, so good, folks. So let me see if I could zoom in. All right. Hopefully you can see that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get into the menu system here. So in order to get into the menu system of the document camera, where you turn on the LED light, you'll press and hold that for about 2 or 3 seconds. When you do that, you'll enter the menu system. And let's see if I could, here we go. So this is what you're going to see as far as the menu goes. And I'll zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully you can see a little bit of what I'm showing. So again, you're going to see where it says autofocus is the enter button, and your zoom out, zoom in is going to be your up and down arrow keys. So as an example, for my image quality, and I know this may be difficult to see, I will hit the autofocus or AF button. It goes into image and it drops down. It gives me ability to adjust the brightness, the contrast, saturation. I go into a preview mode. There's the denoise mode, different effects, mirror again, exposure setup, white balance, focus. A lot of this stuff I just leave on the automatic mode rather than going in there and adjusting things manually, but you can if you want. So as an example, let me drop down to, let's see, let's go to the exposure setup. So I hit the AF button again, and as it shows automatic or manual, I just leave everything on manual. Just makes it that much easier. And then if I want to back out, I hit my LED light button and it backs me out one at a time. So now let's just drop down quickly down to settings. And within setting, you see that I have my capture resolution. So I'll go ahead and enter that. normal, and then 8 megapixel for the high. So while I was showing you these things, we were just in the normal resolution. This really makes a difference on if you're going to capture an image more so than anything else. Okay, so I'll back out of here. We'll drop down to capture quality, finest, high, normal. Um, I have to be honest, I have not gone through here to check to see exactly what the file sizes will be between having a normal, high, and finest. But if any of you want me to do that, I will go in there and I would actually take a look to see what the file sizes are. Capture type, single and continuous. So as I mentioned earlier that I said, somebody's asking, what is a disadvantage of this document camera? And I said, well, there really isn't a disadvantage unless you want to have optical zoom. So what I'm getting at with this is this particular document camera has a lot of different abilities. You can use this in the science classroom. You may have heard me on some other webinar talking about continuous capture. This allows you to do time-lapse photography. So if I was to drop down in here and hit continuous, it's going to come down to where it says interval. And now I could tell it, take a picture every second or every 5 seconds or whatever I want to do. But be sure that you turn this off and go back to the non-continuous, the single mode, because if you don't, and if you just go to capture a picture, it's going to constantly just take a picture every second or however long or however many you told it to do. So let's go back out of here. Again, I'm hitting the LED light to back out. I'm going back up to capture type, hitting the AF for autofocus button to come back in here to select single. Oops. There we go, select single, and now I'm back on single mode. Okay, now I'll try to go through this really fast. So we've got our storage. This is where I mentioned that you can have this as a powered only, or if you want to connect a USB thumb drive to this and capture all your videos and still images right to the document camera itself. So this is where I go into the storage, select storage. Right now it says please change to power supply mode setting USB. So I have to go down to where it says USB to PC. And I know I'm just throwing this out really fast. Remember, I'm going to make videos on all of this so you don't have to worry about this. So right here, currently I'm using it as a USB camera only. I could go to mass storage, or I could go to power supply only. But you see where there's a lot of different things in here. There's a timer, and there's even another time interval in here. The capture interval is just a number of images captured. Time intervals is how much time, of course. So I'll just back out here, back out, just go down real quick so you can see what the playback looks like. So again, I have it just as a USB camera, so I have no images stored, so there's nothing to play back. And last but not least, under the system, output display, drop down here. If I want to change that, you could go in here and you can change the settings in here. Okay, back out, come back down, information. If you ever need to get a hold of us, if you purchase this and you need something as far as service done, or you contact our customer support and they need some information, this is where you'll want to go. And you'll get the model number, the version, the flash, etc. And you can see it does have a QR code up here for quick guide software. It takes you immediately to it. Okay, so that worked out kind of well. Let me come back here real fast, and great. I hope I didn't bore you folks. Is the only way to see these settings connecting to HDMI? Yes, it is. So you'll want to or need to have it connected somehow to via HDMI to a monitor or something that'll accept an HDMI output. Okay, so question is, where am I going to find a good comparison? What I'll do for you, we do have it on our website, but I will go ahead and put a link. I'll put it on the PDF that we'll be sending out to all of you folks, or that's going to be made available. I'll make sure that I have a link to the comparison chart. I'm not 100% sure if we have the brand new document camera in there, but it might be, but I'll make sure I have the link in there for you. Anybody else with any questions? Can you believe that 45 minutes has already gone by? I can't. Let's see, where's the best place to find it? What is your thought on the advantage, disadvantage? Flex versus mechanical arm. Okay, so, all right, I'm not a salesperson, but yes, I'll be very upfront and honest with you. The flex arm is very good because, as it says, this flex arm, I have one. This is another one of our USB powered document cameras. This is the U70 Plus. There's a U70 Plus and U50. This is the flex arm. You notice that it could go any place, anywhere you want. Now, if you were to say, well, what are the advantages or disadvantages between a flex and a mechanical, which you are asking? The only disadvantage that I would say is if I'm rough with the arm, it can tend to, wiggle for a little bit. You see it just vibrates and shakes for a second. So that's if I'm making any type of adjustments. Whereas with the mechanical arm, it's just mechanical. It just goes right there, and you won't have that wiggle, that bounce. That's the only disadvantage or advantage, whatever way you want to look at it. And why would it be an advantage or disadvantage? Well, motion sickness, if it's shaking around a lot. But again, it'll really only happen if you're moving the arm in closer or further out from your object. Good products make time fly by. I hope a halfway decent presentation makes it fly by too. Any other questions? We've had some really, really good questions. I mean, I really like that one between the flex and the mechanical arm. That was a great question. You're welcome, Michelle. And I think, let's see what else we have. Would teachers use the flex arm to get to better different angles of the object? Yes, in a way. Now, I say in a way because I'm going to disconnect the M11 right now, and I'm going to bring it here so we could take a look kind of closely and we can see what kind of angles that we could get.
Thank you. Something happened on my end. Can you hear me right now? I just changed over to the laptop. Okay, good. So the audio will probably sound a little different. Okay, so as far as the different angles that you could get between the flex arm and the mechanical, okay, you see that this is the only type of rotation that you're able to do, okay? And it's only up and down. There's no side-to-side motion. That's the only thing. But there's a way around that if you need to. You could just physically move the document camera around. However, if it needs to go this way, you can't do it. So it's only going to be able to point down or point up. So that's it. Your side-to-side angles will be the difficult part. So as an example, again, with the flex arm, the head, everything is flexible. I could twist this around, come back this way, anything I want. So maybe an advantage of something like this might be if you're working in a science project and you have a glass beaker and you've got liquids in there and you don't want to go just from a top down, you want to have a side angle view, this would be really good for that. However, again, there's always a however and there's always a but. It's not to say that I can't take and lay this down on its side. I know it's a pain, and then it makes the base actually, the real estate take up more room. But if you did get one of these and that was the issue, you can do different things. Even if it's laying down on the side, remember, the camera can go up like this, all right? The other thing, here's that base. Most of the weight is down at the base. Yes, I will not forget to send the model comparison. I'll make sure that I have it attached to the PDF presentation as well. Anybody else have any other questions? Again, there's been really great information, or not great information, great questions. I do have one thing to let you know. As we're saying that this is a USB powered document camera. USB 2 will power it. However, I believe most USB 2 has something, this is going to get a little bit technical, but not really. Has, I believe, like 2.1 volts. USB 3 will have 5 volts. If you're going to use this as a webcam, or if you want it to be used as a document camera recognized in some of our software like the Sphere 2 and AVer Touch, you will want to make sure that you're using a USB 3. But as I said, you can use USB 2 and it'll power it as well. It's just that I've noticed that if I'm using USB 2, sometimes there's not enough power to make it work through the software. Hopefully that made sense. And also, here's another thing. This goes back to a question that was asked earlier as far as delays and things like that. Somebody had asked, well, how do I prevent, or what's going to give it a delay? If you use USB 3, it does allow more information through the pipeline. So it does not bottleneck, or it doesn't get cramped up with a lot of information. So that might help as well. Whereas opposed to using USB 2, not as much information can go through the, for the lack of terminology, through the USB cable itself. If I could afford to buy everybody lunch, I would. I could barely afford to buy it myself. So it seems like the questions are slowed down, so I think we are about at the end of the webinar. Sunny, Lori, everybody out there, thank you very much for giving so much time to for me to do this. The one thing in closing is, remember, AVer's always open. We're here. Go to our website. Remember to follow us on the social media. If you need any technical support, you can find us on the technical support page. All that is on our website. And be on the lookout for some new videos that I'll be creating for the new document camera. Alan, thank you very much. Susan, thank you very much for the kind words there. And everybody, be safe. Have a great rest of the summer. And hey, record your content, get a document camera, and prep for the fall school year. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.